I'm Stephanie, and this is Snowdome of the Day. Famous North Carolina alumnus Charles Kuralt used to say, "North Carolina is my home." And when he said those words, he didn't mean that his house was North Carolina. He meant that the state of North Carolina was an emotional, a spiritual, and for a long time, a geographic home for him. North Carolina is the focus of today's Snowdome of the Day. It's one in a series, and you'll see the state of North Carolina inside with the words North Carolina and the state bird and tree. It's an educational dome, one of a series that you can collect. When I think about homes, I also think about houses and housing. And I remember that not everyone has a safe or actual home in which to live. So first, I give thanks for housing and offer prayers for those who are looking for shelter, and pray that we may be the people who work for a community, a world where everyone has safe, equitable, fair, reasonable, protective housing. Next, I think about the notion of home places, and how the houses in which we live, or apartments, or yurts, tents, those spaces are a home to us, but they likely stand on a timeline of homes that we have made, whether that be a state that we've encountered. In my case, North Carolina, the state where I was born, and the place where I attended college, the place where favorite aunt, uncle, and cousins lived, and I would go visit with my family, either beach trips, camping trips in the Appalachian Mountains, or their family home in Greensboro. It's a home in which I was never quite a real resident. A home. Some of us have spiritual homes. It might be a retreat center. It might be a favorite forest. It might be a favorite river that we like to go visit and see. A place where we encounter the divine. A place that is a spiritual home for us. In this pandemic, we're learning more about other people's homes, whether that be the home in which we live. You now know I live in a greenhouse. But it might also be the home of what we like to wear to feel comfortable in a Zoom call. We might be learning that some friends really need that cup of coffee, and it needs to be in a red mug with a heart on it. That coffee becomes a touch point, and that mug makes a person feel like home, even in a time of disaster. Home can mean many things, and for people of faith, we find that faith itself to be a home place. It goes with us. It's portable, no matter what our housing looks like, no matter whether we've been able to visit the geographic spaces that are spiritual homes for us. I give thanks for those spiritual homes, some of which have not been able to do their usual work. I'm thinking of sanctuaries that have not hosted worship. And yet I know that those home places are still active in our memories, in our imaginations, in our hearts. And I give thanks that no matter where we are located, we find in our faith a spiritual home. North Carolina was Charles Kuralt's home. I know you have many homes, as do I, and I give thanks that all those homes are anchored by the knowledge of God's love that provides a spiritual home, no matter where it is that I'm physically present. Peace be with you, from my home to yours.